Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, Riley, Steven, and Shane. Say what up, guys.
Hello.
Hola.
What's up, nerds?
We're back with more spoiler season. Even though we're not done talking about the last set, we're talking about a new set because that's what we're doing in Magic in 2025. And guess what? After this set, there's a brand new set coming. So strap in, I think I say all the time, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm
Right.
Yeah, this is Edge of Eternities. This is a set that I was excited about. Shane was excited about.
Great,
Other
extremely.
guys, iffy, right?
I like space.
Space.
Planets are cool.
Slivers and Eldrazi's in space.
There
Pretty
you go.
cool.
But yeah, so today was the debut stream. They showed a ton of cards, so I will not keep us waiting any longer. We'll get into it, but before we do, I just want to remind everybody to hit the like button and subscribe. Almost at 20,000 subscribers. You don't want to miss out when we hit 20,000 because we're going to be doing a giveaway. Cannot believe we're almost there. Crazy.
Yep, we're giving away Shane.
Uh-oh.
you get Shane.
He's a good editor.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and move on to the first card. This card is called Terminal Velocity. It is 4 and 2 red for a sorcery that says you may put an artifact or creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That permanent gains haste, and when this permanent leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature. And at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this permanent.
A lot of
It's
mana.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It is a lot of mana, but you can cheat out something bigger.
True. And then it dies.
And then it just nukes the board when it dies.
I like the name too. It's funny. It's going
No,
kamikaze.
listen, I'm gonna spend 6 mana on a spell beforehand, and then I'm gonna spend 6 mana on this, and I've essentially invested 12 mana to do something and then end the turn.
Okay. Steven likes this card.
You're gonna invest 6 and then 6? Why?
Little Sundial the Infinite action, just end the turn,
Oh,
trigger on the
that.
stack.
That and the turn.
Got it.
It's interesting. Will the C play? Who knows? I mean,
No.
cheating an artifact into play? I don't know. For 6, maybe you drop in
Portal
Portal
of Phyrexia.
Phyrexia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super helpful that it gains haste
Man,
and sacks. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Or a spacecraft. There you go. Right. That gains
This is
haste.
100% meant for stations.
You took Fling and you took
But kind of a Chandra's Ignition.
well, yeah, I'll take that. It's a Chandra's Ignition. It hits everything. But you took a Chandra's Ignition and you took a why am I blanking on this card? It's the enchantment, red, you pay a single red and you put a creature down.
Sneak attack.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. You combine
Yeah.
those two together, and you ended up with this amalgamation that is not as good as either.
I mean,
it's
way worse.
It's all right. But let's just move on, I guess.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We have so
Please.
much, dude.
We got a lot of cards to talk about. Let's move on. Exalted Sunborn is a new creature. It's 3 and 2 white for a 4/5 creature angel wizard. It's got flying and lifelink, and if one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. And a warp cost of 1 and a white is a brand new mechanic. What is warp? Well, you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn.
That's actually
Kinda
pretty
cool new
sick,
mechanic.
dude. Because you can get it right away. 'Cause you're not exiling it right away.
I have two massive questions regarding this ability. Maybe you can clarify this for me and for our viewers. Creatures that were warped, it does not state on the card has haste, so I'm assuming this does not.
Does not have haste.
No.
Some creatures will have haste, but something about the warp cost that you can do is you can, because they disappear at the end step, you can technically crew them into your spacecraft.
True.
Okay.
Also, you could just pay 2 and get the doubling tokens, and then your double tokens, and then it goes away, and then you play it again later.
My
It's true.
other clarifying question for this one is warp, since once again, it does not state in the reminder text, is this an ability that I can activate at instant speed, or is this at sorcery speed?
I think timing is
It-
still restricted.
Timing restrictions are still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a creature.
It depends on what things you have on the field that allow you to do things.
I was just curious in like for warp in and of itself, especially since like this is our first time talking about Edge of Eternities as we're diving in, and I'm assuming that warp is going to be one of the very prevalent mechanics. And I feel like those two things, I can't be the only one who has like, those things that I just want clarification on. So
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
mean,
warp
if
really
this-
good
if-
mechanic. Everything I've seen so far is basically just like some amazing ETBs from creatures.
This, once again, another doubling token effect. Kind of crazy that
We're
they just
getting
keep
a lot
making
of
them now. And you'll see
And
later
it's
in
an
the video-
angel.
See later in the video, there's also a new doubling other effects too. That's just like we're running out of design ideas. Put it on a warp creature. I like it though. I'm here for it. This is gonna be money because that effect is always money.
Yep.
Moving on, we have Astelli Reclaimer. It's 3 and 2 white as well for a 5/4 creature angel warrior. It's got flying, and when this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. You can also warp it in for 2 and a white.
That's
There you
cool.
go. There's an ETB for warp.
Yeah, good
3
artifact
mana
or
Sun
enchantment
Titan.
on specifically
Specifically 3 mana.
artifacts or enchantments
Yeah.
or sagas.
It's-
I guess that's enchantment.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's an interesting card.
The warp's cool because you get to do the thing for 3 and then it goes away, and then do the thing for 5 when it's later. So you can do it twice.
I think the warp ability specifically is so good for these new like we'll get to the spacecrafts in a minute, but I think they're so good for spacecraft because this does something on ETB. Use it to add those charge counter to your spacecraft, and then it goes away.
True.
2-for-1 special.
to be completely honest with you, I think that the warp mechanic as a whole, I think that you're really high on it, and I'm very low on it. I get that this is like it's a cool effect, but I look at it like ultimately, this is still an 8 mana investment for me to be able to do all the things with this card. Am I actually going to be able to warp this for any kind of added benefit here? I look at it like that's 3 mana. How much mana do I have left for me to be able to actually do something else? It's like progressing my board state. It just, to me, I feel like this is going to be one of those mechanics that it sounds really good, and then you start playing with it and realizing just how much you're stuttering yourself.
Maybe
I don't think you're stuttering yourself that much. I think the warp mechanic is fantastic, especially with aristocrat strategies, because caring about things leaving the battlefield, especially in this set, there are many artifacts, instants, and sorceries that care about that piece of text in particular. But another cool thing is, I mean, this being in white, I think is fantastic because this brings back stuff. And I understand the 8 mana investment part, but essentially, like, I either can spend 8 mana to do something really good twice, or I can spend 5 mana to do it once. And yes, the creature does leave, but at least this one brings something in. So I think that's kind of beneficial.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, don't give me. No, sorry.
I was just gonna say I look at warp cost as just an extra spell, right? Especially with stuff that actually does stuff.
And maybe that's kind of where I'm at on this. I don't know. It's just 5 mana for a somewhat. I'm not even going to say somewhat for a very restrictive recursion stapled onto the angel. The angel's got pretty good stats, so I'll give it a pass on that. But I don't see this as a card that I would play.
Yeah, I really love Hunter's idea about crewing the stations and putting charge counters on them, because it's like this is actually really a cool piece of tech, because essentially the way I kind of think about it is it's almost like you're playing an instant sorcery that's doing something on your turn, because technically the body's not going to stick around, and then you can just start crewing those, well, not crewing, but putting the charge counters on the stations. It's so much flexibility that it really is awesome.
Let's move on. This next one is called Emissary Escort. It is a 1 and a blue for a 0/4 artifact creature robot soldier. This creature gets +X/+0, where X is the greatest mana value among other artifacts you control.
Meh.
Does this need to be rare?
Maybe not.
Nope.
Wow, you guys are absolutely insane. I think I'm highest on this card so far.
I mean, at
Big
the
dumb beater.
floor, it's a 2/4.
No, it says other. At the floor, it's a 0/4.
You're right, among other. Well, then that's even worse.
I mean, it's relatively large, and you want to talk about how warp could be impactful. Warp in some gigantically costed artifact for some cheap cost, and this thing is huge. The fact that it comes in for only 2 mana means that this could be a rather aggressive card. And if you are playing with things later on in the game that stick around to have high mana value, this is just a really big beater for 2 mana.
Nah,
Yeah,
I get blocked by 1/1.
A card
It
we
does.
aren't talking about today is actually an uncommon that I thought was pretty interesting. It was like 9 mana for a 9/9, but it has a the only text is just warp of 3.
See, there you
So,
go.
It's
Play this on
pretty
turn
cool.
2, warp that on turn 3, attack for 9.
Yeah, that's not bad. Plus that 9 can accrue something for 9. That's crazy. But
Yep.
anyways, let's move on. We've got Halia, Guided by Light. It is 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier. Whenever it or another creature or artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life. And at the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you gain 3 or more life this turn. Also warp it in for just a single white mana. That's a powerful effect, having it also say artifact.
Say so. And the end step thing, that's cool because the warp would go off and the end step for gaining life and drawing.
I like how it counts itself too, so you automatically get that 1 life as an ETB. This is like I was gonna say like a boosted up Soul Sister, but it pretty much is.
Well, a lot of the Soul Sisters that you would want to play also activate on your opponents, and this is specific to just you.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why it's 3 mana.
Yes,
Yeah.
but just the ability of it triggering itself and then triggering with other creatures, and
Yeah.
also artifacts is crazy.
I'd still say
I don't
throw it
know.
in those life gain decks, just draw cards. End of turn, draw some cards.
I
hell
think
yeah.
This
that's by
Inspiring
far the
Tide,
best part.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Let's move on. We've got a cool looking art.
Whoa.
I like this. These alternate arts are pretty sweet. This is Quantum Riddler. It's 3 and 2 blue for a 4/6 creature Sphinx. It's got flying, and when this creature enters, draw a card. And as long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many cards plus 1. Instead, warp cost 1 and a blue.
That's
How about
cool.
that one, Riley? Warp.
Man, draw
I
a
don't
card.
know. It's cool, yeah. This one at least like it cantrips itself. So like at worst case scenario, if I have nothing that I'm doing on turn 2, I can use this to just draw a card.
Very true.
This
That
artwork
art
is
is
so
sick.
cool.
It's so sick. Dude.
This is so cool. What do you think, Steven?
It's like an interesting mole drifter in a weird way. It's cool. Blue, draw cards, 4/6 flyer. I mean, it's pretty strong. I don't like. I think one of the biggest issues I have is just dumping my hand and just hoping for card draw. So this kind of helps that aspect.
It's cool. I like it. Quantum Riddler.
I don't know.
Pretty
I don't
sweet.
know how I feel about that middle ability on this one. Like the ETB draw
It's-
card. Aside from that, this is a 4/6 with flying.
It is very weird, right? It's like if you want to have few cards, but that ability makes you draw more than that.
You could put it in like a Spellslinger deck where you're just dumping your hand, right?
That's true.
If you're doing
Trying
it
to.
correctly, you should also be drawing cards.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to another blue card. This is Starfield Vocalist. It's 3 and a blue for a 3/4 creature human bard. It says if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Like I said, they're running out of design ideas. It's got a warp of 1 and a blue.
I like this warp though. I get it. You can have this trigger really early. Get some double triggers.
My
Oh,
favorite
this is
comment
kinda-
was like, this is Pan Harmony Con.
It's a pretty good comment. I won't lie. I'll give him that. It is interesting because I'm now thinking more about your comment, Hunter, of like they're just in the design space and they're just like, have we done like a Panharmonicon thing yet? Put
Not for a
warp
this
while.
on
set.
it.
Not for a while.
Haven't done it in this set yet.
Put warp on it. Call it a day.
Interesting art, dude. Why are we doing anime?
This is one of the Japanese showcase that you can get in fractured foil.
Got it.
That's why.
Got it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just normal. Looks like
Okay.
another singer. But they also said this was inspired by the Fifth Element.
Ah,
The blue singer.
I remember that.
Okay.
But yeah. Cool card. Same effect we've always seen. Moving on. We have a new Arch Charm. This is Archenemy's Charm. It is 3 black for an instant. Choose 1. You can exile target creature or planeswalker. Or you can return 1 or 2 target creature and or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Or you could put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. I'm here for it.
This art is amazing.
Art's amazing. Card's pretty solid.
A mono black card getting lifelink.
It's not
Happened before.
unheard of. Yeah.
That's still just weird.
It's not weird. It's like
weird
it
to
ran
me.
rampant in standard. The Gix's command.
That's true. Gase's command was pretty nuts. But this
Yeah.
is going to be another mono black card that we will probably see a lot of play of in standard. I think the flexibility here is just too good not to throw it in.
Yeah, mono black mid range is gonna get some toys.
I'm throwing
is-
it in for the art.
It is such an interesting card to me because for 3 mana, I don't like any of those modes.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's not a super stellar rate for any of them.
I think it's the
An exile
flexibility.
effect.
I'm not playing a 3 mana removal spell.
Even though
Like,
it's
that's-
exile?
No.
Gets past indestructible?
Also, this is super
Planeswalker?
difficult. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I feel it.
Also returning 2 cards?
That
For 3
yeah,
mana?
Like, my argument here isn't this card is bad. My argument here is that the fact that this is modal is why this card is like survivable, because I feel like each one of these modes, that this card is is overcosted for each individual thing that it does. It's one of those things where it's like the sum of its parts, and I forgot the expression, but you know what I'm going with here.
it's the total of its whole.
Yeah, there you go.
That's made.
The
That's
total of
pretty
its
good.
whole.
That's made that.
That's what it was. I love that. Yeah, it's a cool card though. I'm here for it. I like it. And yeah, Shane, that art, that's a playmat, right?
That's a play mat, dude.
That's sweet. Let's move on. You've got Elegy Acolyte. It is 2 and 2 black for a 4/4 creature human cleric. It's got lifelink, and whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. And it has an ability called Void. It is a new mechanic for this set. It says at the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, you create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token.
You like lifelink.
Lifelink on a mono black card, Shane.
How funny.
I think this card's sweet. I
That's
think
pretty sweet.
Void is a mechanic that touches Riley's heart. Just having a non-land permanent leave the battlefield, something happens. That screams aristocrats.
You get to make a body.
You know Riley's gone to Spellslinger at this point, right?
I haven't.
The Spellslinger?
Yeah, Rakdos Spellslinger.
They make one
Oh.
deck.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is my new favorite flavor of the month. However, I actually do really like this card. The bottom part, the void ability, I think is just kind of cute. I just like card draw.
Card draw is good. Yeah.
Card draw wins games.
Card draw is good, but they basically took Gix and made it crappy. I don't.
Well-
It's the 1 or more creatures. You draw a card, you lose 1 life. Void is only on your end step. It only counts for the 1 thing. It's just like so. Ceiling here is you draw a card, you lose a life, and you make a body.
Doesn't Gix
Floor
also have
is-
a
this
pretty
is-
significant downside?
I'm just saying. Like it just like it's good, but it's just like it's just very mediocre in my mind.
We'll see if this sees play. I do think it does, though. A 4 mana 4/4 lifelinker in black that has a lot of upside.
Yep.
Once again, mid-rangey, huh? Let's go ahead and move on to a new dragon, because why not? We have got dragons in space. This is Nova Hellkite. It is 3 and 2 red for a 4/5 creature dragon, flying, haste. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature and opponent controls, warp 2 in a red. Why does this seem not great?
I've already moved on to the next card. I'll be dead honest with you.
Dude, the art
Here
is
we go.
insane.
This
we
is
need to
gonna
talk
be-
about
This
this.
is gonna be the one that Riley loves because it's 3 mana for a 4/5 flyer haste, which is very powerful.
See, there you go. This is a warp with haste, and it's got built-in evasion. This is why I like this card. Yes, the ETB ability I literally don't care about at all. But on turn 3, I'm swinging it for 4. On turn 5, it's coming back. And it's taken out like 2 little dorks in the meantime. Also, you cannot tell me that is not the coolest artwork you have ever seen in your entire life.
I was just gonna say that art's pretty sick too.
I mean, it's very like Princess Mononoke. It
Yeah.
is sick.
Yeah,
I just
interesting.
this screams standard to me, and I'm just not here for it. And I just
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
something fun, Riley. How
Yeah.
does this work with Miram?
Well, fun fact, it would ETB and make a copy with Miram, and that other copy wouldn't have just been warped in, so it's going to stay.
And then you can do it again because
I
it's got to
can.
go back to exile. That's
Yeah.
I like that synergy.
Mm,
That's kind of cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, Nova Hellkite. I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, 3
Art
mana,
is so
4,
confusing.
4, 5. Art is subjective. It's great.
I love it. I'm saying it's confusing.
Next
So
up,
confused.
we're moving on to another black card. This is Sunset Saboteur. It's a 1 and a black for a 4/1 creature human rogue. It's got Menace and Ward. Discard a card. And whenever this creature attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature an opponent controls. Ooh,
wow.
it's a bummer, huh?
Yep.
There's
this
always
is
got to be
rare.
the downside, though. And they mentioned in the stream that they made this card in terms of like, there's always that hidden enemy that goes around someone's back in a space opera.
Yeah.
And this is, they kind of designed that space of how would you get stabbed in the back? By helping the enemy. That's what you're doing. You're helping the enemy. However, they said you are in black, so if you could just deal with the creature that gets the counter, this is a 4/1 with Menace. So
True.
that's pretty good. And Ward, discard a card, pretty good in standard.
Yeah,
This
no one wants to do
pretty much
that.
it pretty much guarantees like it's got a 2-for-1 something.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, 2 mana 4/1. Pretty solid. Oh man, there are some banger cards for this set. They are pushing power. I guess they have to at this point, right?
Yeah.
Next up is Rust Harvester. It is 1 red mana for a 1/1 artifact creature robot. It's got Menace. You could also just pay 2, tap it, exile an artifact card from your graveyard to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's
That's
kind of
pretty
cool.
neat.
Yeah. What do you think, Steven? Just pinging stuff, but you're pinging stuff for more?
Death by 1,000 cuts that slowly turns into a huge sword.
You're not wrong. This can get out of hand kind of quick.
Gotta fill your graveyard with artifacts.
This is Grim Lavamancer, but 2025, I guess.
There you go. My favorite comment about this one was this is Evil Wally.
Ooh.
So that's what this is.
Fun fact, plot twist, Wally was evil all along.
Wow.
It's also true.
Moving on to another new card that my favorite. This is Frenzied Baloth. It's 2 green for a 3/2 creature beast. This spell can't be countered. It has trample and haste. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and combat damage can't be. All for 2 mana.
This is wild.
I want green to be good so bad.
And that is exactly what they said in stream. They
Oh, did they
basically
really?
said those words. They said that from a design space, they definitely take into the current standard meta. And I
Wow.
was like, wow. So they're just trying. They said, so in the future, you might be seeing some more green with haste because they do like green aggro decks, and that's not really a thing right now.
Yeah.
So expect more green haste.
You know,
This card's sick.
I think I'm gonna run this in EDH.
Yeah.
Just
And
because
you
like
can. Creatures
Yeah.
can't be countered.
oh, I don't care about that at all. I've just died to Ink Shield too many times. And that last line of text
Ah.
solves that problem.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Who would kill you with ink
Just
shield?
imagine one of y'all having 5 mana open, 1 black, 1 white. I'm like, I have this in my hand. I was like, okay, you're dying.
I'm actually super excited to play green and standard with this card.
Yeah,
This is
like
gonna
I'm
see
not.
This is gonna see a lot of play.
This is cool.
Speaking of green creatures, moving on, we have Ouroboroid. This is 2 and 2 green for a 1/3 creature plant worm. This is the beginning of combat on your turn. You put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. This is going to get out of hand
Dude.
so quickly.
Yeah.
This
What?
card's nuts.
I'm trying to think like the
Yikers.
story behind the art because I'm assuming this turned into this from a small little baby plant.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I got it's an
because
infestation.
this art does not make it look like a 1/3.
This is gonna turn into a 2/4
It's a
immediately.
massive tapeworm, dude.
Right? Gives your whole team a counter. Then your next turn, it's gonna give your whole team 2 counters. That's if you don't already have
That's
more
like
counter
that.
stuff in play
That's if you're
or
not
attach
bumping this up.
anything to it, because it only cares about power. It doesn't care about counters at all. This can like giant growth this. Boom. Your whole team has just grown so fast.
Any kind of counter
I will
strategy that's going
say-
in.
One thing I liked about the stream that they had today, they were talking about flavor text pretty hard, and this flavor text is awesome. Yes, I found a strange vine in the ice. Thine for further analysis. Final entry.
Yeah,
That's
turns out
crazy.
that vine gets out of hand.
Yeah, no, this card is really cool. I like this one a lot. I completely agree. Flavor wise, this is a win. It's a slam dunk. My concern is like, is this one of those cards that maybe is too slow?
Too
We'll see.
slow?
Yeah.
Oh man, I disagree completely. This card needs to be dealt with the moment it drops.
Or like 2 turns later, whenever it actually starts like putting the serious number of +1/+1 counters on things.
Well, I'll tell you a card that I believe is too slow. Let's move on to the next one. This is Weapons Manufacturing. It's 1 and a red for an enchantment that says whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, you create a colorless artifact token named Munitions. When this token leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. It's the opposite of Roxanne.
It's yeah.
They just come in and they don't do anything till they
Oh.
leave.
Yeah, but they're sack fodder.
Yeah,
Sure,
I like this.
I don't. This card, I think, is bad.
Why?
I think it's a do nothing card.
Well, it's an activator card, I think.
Yeah, I feel like
Does-
this is a finisher.
Maybe. I think this
What
card's
the hell
bad.
is an munition?
That is it's new.
So
It's
it's just,
munitions.
but it's not a creature. It's just an artifact.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
an
just a-
artifact.
Got it.
Just imagine it like a little
Like a
rock,
treasure.
just sitting
But not
there,
a treasure.
not doing anything until it leaves.
It's just sitting there.
Can't even do anything to make it leave.
Yep. You just gotta
You
let
know,
it sit there.
The more that I think about this card, the more I actually like this. I can combo off with this card, and this acts as a finisher in which I could potentially just like use those as sacrifice tokens to blow somebody up. Or what I could do is I can use this card defensively. If I'm playing a game of Commander and I'm playing it with a red deck, chances are I probably got a lot of tokens. You want to start going for my tokens and stuff like that? Well, guess what? I'm also going to be playing around with cards like this. That way I can start blowing you up in the process. So like, I don't know, you use like a Vandal Blast to blow up all of my other artifacts, and you're going to get hit for a couple munitions tokens as well.
I was exactly thinking that. Because it's like, you want to Vandal Blast me in this artifact deck? I don't know if you want to. You're going to die. Just keep it in there for safekeeping, Center.
All right, well, let's move on to another enchantment. This is Terrasymbiosis. It's 2 and a green for an enchantment that says whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, you may draw that many cards. Do this only once each turn.
That's the text we saw, dude.
That is a powerful effect.
When we read that, I told you it's going to be on something that's super expensive and not playable. This is not that.
This is not that. Do this only once each turn is a bummer. I've said this in
Does it?
multiple videos,
Doesn't
but
matter.
it does not matter for this card
Doesn't matter.
at all because any of those, just hey, we have +1/+1 counters on this creature. We're gonna double them. It's already got 5. I'm just gonna draw 5 cards.
Also,
See,
do this
yeah.
only once each turn. Doesn't say your turn.
Yeah, I know. You do it for 1 full turn cycle. You're playing EDH and bang, draw a lot of cards.
One of the games we played, Steven easily was putting like 4 or 5 counters on a creature every turn. It was crazy. Like, you're going to draw so many cards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like.
I will.
You like this card, Steven?
No, I'm not huge on it.
He doesn't
Wow.
like winning games.
Doesn't like winning games.
Well, card draw, dude. I'm just saying he doesn't like winning games.
Oh, card draw wins games. Moving
Everyone
on.
games?
We've got an Eldrazi. Eldrazi alert. This is Anticausal Vestige. It's 6 mana for a 7/5 creature Eldrazi. It says when this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Also has a warp of 4.
See, that's
Is
when
that
warp
a
is
good warp?
nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's super
Not
nuts.
gonna lie, when I saw this card, I thought it said anti-casual, and I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Anti-cost. This is a pretty solid card. Warping this in, it's a 7/5 that you can use it for its power and toughness. But if someone tries to kill this, it's still leaving the battlefield and you still get that trigger. So, yeah.
I do have some concerns regarding this one. Like, I think that the warp on this is very good, but if you don't have the warp, if you just have the hard cast portion of this, it's 6 mana for a 7/5. And
That
that's
has
not
to
an
wait.
ETB or anything. Like, that ability is not guaranteed to go off.
Then beat
have
your
a-
opponents to death.
I was going to say, better have a personal sack outlet or something if you want that effect. But
And
I
it
see
doesn't
what
say
you're
when it
saying.
dies, it just says leave. So like, all right, I'm just gonna kill you
Blink
then.
it.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
you could make it too.
Just blink the ever-living crap out of it.
Yeah, that's
How do we
true.
feel about this border? White border, somewhat on the card.
Interesting.
It's better than
Cool.
the yellow border that came from Aether Drift.
That's true. Because there is a version that is this white border and the exact same art with a black border.
Hmm.
Why are they doing this?
Hmm.
I don't know. You'll see soon one of the black border ones, but weird. Moving on, we've got Biotech Specialists. It is a red and a green for a 1/3 creature insect scientist. It says when this creature enters, you create a lander token. It is a brand new token, especially to this set. You can pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, go and get a basic, put it onto the battlefield tapped. And then whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent.
I
is
love
so
the lander
good.
mechanic.
You love the landers?
Yeah, I think it's such a cool little thing. It just screams just shenanigans, and I love shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Say it one more time.
Yeah, this is a cool card. I love the fact that it's like whenever you sack an artifact, this deals 2 damage to target opponent. I say it all the
Playing with
time, but
treasures.
when creatures are playing with they're doing the damage, strap on grafted exoskeleton and then sack a bunch of treasures and
Oh.
kill people with poison.
You love
You're just
that.
a terrible person.
He
I
always
just
brings
love
that up.
that effect.
He always brings
Why
that
would
up.
you want to
Effect is
kill
so
somebody
fun.
with infect?
I know that's where his brain goes. My thought on this is like way to maximize this is like put, I don't know, lifelink or something. But no, he goes straight to
Infect.
infect.
You're prolonging
People
the
who
game.
kill
He wants
people
to
with
end it.
infects are just terrible people, right, Shane?
Right.
I also agree with this statement.
Okay, sure. Let's move on. We've got a new Goyf. This is Cosmogoyf. It is black and a green for a star, 1+ star. It's a creature, elemental Lurgoyf. It says this creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to the number plus. I don't know if this is good.
Action.
Yeah,
Run.
It's a Goyf. It's going to be good.
I don't know. Having cards in exile?
They're being
Weird.
warped.
I know.
I was gonna
I
say
think
you're
they're being
this
warped.
this is your payoff for warp, and it scales over the course of the game. So if you're gonna continue to like, I don't know, warp in stations or something like that, you can continue to feed into it.
I mean, not to mention that from the standard videos that I do watch and in Commander, exile runs rampant. Now, granted, it's what you own, but obviously we build decks to make our opponents fear us. So they want to exile our stuff.
Fear us.
This is a card that I will say I don't think that this one translates outside of standard. So I feel like it either finds a home there or it doesn't find a home anywhere.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't think, especially when you had a perfect color pairing. I know like black and green is a weird color pairing for this specifically, but I guess the original Goyf was green, so I get it. But
Yep.
you had the guy from Aetherdrift that cares about cards in exile. That should have been the same color pairing, and that'd been cool. What was that?
Ketramos.
Ketramos, that god. Yeah,
I was like,
cool.
what's that black?
Yeah, the
white
reason why
thing?
Ketramos is substantially better is it just cares about cards in exile, not just
Oh, I
specifically
know.
cards you own.
I know. I'm just saying this would have been cool to throw into Ketramos. Could, but you can't.
Yeah, but you're not trying to like exile your own stuff all the time.
Moving
Card
on.
like this, I'm bogging myself.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's move on. We've got the main kind of story piece. It's called the Endstone. This is what Tezzeret was after. It is 7 mana for a legendary artifact. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. And at the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total. It up.
Excuse
I
me?
love this card.
Yeah, this is you play this card, you better win quickly. Find that win immediately. You start playing all your stuff and then you're just slowly not slowly, you're just dying.
What do you mean?
Excuse me?
Your starting life total in Commander is 40. So you go to 20.
Yep.
So if you're at 5, your life total goes to 20.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This has the
card's
ability to
fantastic.
stabilize you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then this card is fantastic.
Actually, you're right. This doesn't half. It
No.
always sticks you at 20, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this card isn't killing you. This card, if anything, like it kind of pads your life total on top of some insane card draw. I think what this card actually does is it tells the other 3 players at the table, hey, hit this person for a minimum of 20 right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think you guys I wasn't even paying attention to that part. I thought it was halving every time.
You
No.
made me
Just
think that too.
putting it at 20 over and over and over. This card's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like I
This
read the
card-
card and it's amazing now.
This I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
reading
great.
the card explains the card.
It does.
If there's a card that makes me excited for flooding out after I've dropped my 7-drop, like
This one.
it's done something well. This makes me excited whenever I top deck a land.
Oh, cool. I get to draw another card.
Yep.
Yeah, the card's nuts. Moving on. We got another insect. This is Genemorph Imago.
Imago.
I'm a go.
Imago.
I'm going.
This is green and a blue for 1/3 creature insect druid. It's got flying and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, target creature has base, power, and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. If you control 6 or more land, that creature has base, power, and toughness 6/6 until end of turn instead.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty sweet.
Dude.
It's a 2-mana
What?
3/3 with flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can
Whoa.
get landfall.
I mean,
like
it's
this
a
card a
good
lot.
thing that playing lands is really hard to do in Magic.
Hey, you never know. You said you could flood. You can also not flood.
And if I flood, now it's a 6/6.
You just stall out.
Dude, can we make a landfall deck in standard? With the
That's-
Chocobo?
Very, very real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are going to be seeing landfall for sure. There are,
Yeah.
but
Good
yeah,
card,
it's a
good.
cool card. Good card, good. Moving on, we've got Mutinous Massacre. This looks like a rally card without even reading it.
Already on TCG player and pre-ordering.
3, 2 black, 2 red, sorcery. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them, they gain haste until end of turn.
Yikes.
That
It's
is
beautiful.
That is an interesting card. It
Yikes,
is
dude.
7 mana though.
This is a really
I love-
interesting thing you have to decide, though, right? Because, like, I don't know, you want to
want
not
the
destroy
big
the big.
stuff.
Exactly.
I love this.
Interesting.
Riley will play this only if they have a sack outlet.
Oh man, you mean like I will only play it in
Yeah,
every one of my decks?
exactly. And the art here is once again banger.
Yeah, for 7 mana, it just says kill the things I don't need, gain control of all the other stuff, swing in, knock a player out, and then sacrifice everybody else's things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is pretty cool. There is no
Yeah,
blade
essentially
sharper
you could
than
just
betrayal.
You could really just swing at the person who has the most threatening stuff that you kept, and then they die, and then all their stuff is gone anyways.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's like a 3-for-1.
Now, at 7 mana, is this effect good? No. But am I going to play this card? Absolutely. I'm pre-ordering.
Yeah, this is a crazy card. I like this card a lot. But let's go ahead and move on. We finally got a spacecraft. This one is the Eternity Elevator. It is 5 mana for legendary artifact spacecraft. You can just tap it and add 3 colorless. It's also got Station. It's a new mechanic that says tap another creature you control. Put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. Once it gets 20 plus charge counters on it, you can tap it to add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of charge counters on the Eternity Elevator. That's a lot
An
of mana.
overkill card.
It's a
What
lot of
the-
mana.
And no shit.
Ain't no one gonna be able to live through my torment of hellfire moving forward.
Dude.
Yeah.
So-
What?
This is
I was
so
just gonna say,
aggressive.
You guys are like oohing and awing over this, and I just like
I'm
this,
not.
like this is like a Gilded Lotus that
Mhm.
after I have spent about 1 million resources, it does just more mana production. Is that good?
I was
I-
not
I don't-
doing and eyeing, dude, at all.
I was gonna say maybe I'm lost, but this card just seems straight up bad to me.
No, I was saying
Rule
it's
change says
overkill.
this can be your commander.
Dude,
That's
your
cool.
commander. This would be the stupidest commander I've ever. I want you to build it.
Look, if 3 mana or 5 mana for tap for 3 colorless. Could I play this as a commander? Yeah, sure, but like, I don't know. Never mind. I don't want this.
Also, I have the biggest gripe with this, dude. I could be making this up right now on the spot, but those elevators that go into space are not realistic. Could never do that.
Next, you're gonna tell me they can't go on for an eternity.
No, but
Yeah,
I
you know
mean,
what?
like, it's just not. It's not feasible.
I'm going to tell you what, Shane. Let's go
Tell
on
me
this
what.
next card. You're going to tell me next that lobsters can't be citizens.
Okay.
This is Ragost, Deft Gastronaut. It is a red and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature, lobster citizen. It says artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types and have pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, you gain 3 life. You can also pay 1, tap it, sacrifice a food. Ragost deals 3 damage to each opponent. And at the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, you untap Ragost.
Cannot be a citizen. Doesn't make
It's a
any
lobster.
sense.
Yeah, so when I first saw this card spoiled today, I was like, it's almost as if like they had like 1 or 2 cards left over from the last Infinity set, and they're like, we can do this now.
We
We're in
can.
space. We got
Just love-
lobster citizens.
I love his
He's-
little tenders.
He's holding like a tiny little thing of time.
He is only
He's got the time.
He's got so much time on his hands.
We're not really
Who
talking
would've
about this
thought
card,
this-
though.
This lobster loves food.
Kind of
What
morbid.
food do you see, brother? That is Jello with a gear wheel in it.
Oh, shit. It actually is like junk.
Hey,
Yeah.
I read the card. It says food. Okay.
I wonder what that cake's made of.
It's not.
Let's
lobster.
move on. Ragost is interesting. He's a
Commander
There's a
Grades
lot.
video. This is getting an A.
Moving on to another spacecraft. This is Extinguisher Battleship. It is 8 mana for an artifact spacecraft. It says when this spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. It also has station, and once it is stationed with 5 plus charge counters, it has flying and trample, and it's a 10/10.
Nope.
This is better than Meteor Golem?
No.
I think
There's a
Meteor
way to
Golem's bad, too.
recur this. This is nuts.
This spaceship deals 4 damage to each creature. This blows up your board with all of your creatures that you would have stationed to this.
My artifact deck? No.
Can we talk about the art that goes past the border? It's pretty cool.
I like this art a lot. This art so far in this set has made me so excited.
Yeah,
What's
me
the name
too.
of that one art piece, like Endless Summer or something like that, or Endless Twilight? You know what I'm talking about? It's like the blue swirls, blue and
Yes.
green swirls. It's kind of like reminiscent of that.
It's a
Yeah, a little
reminiscent.
bit.
Yeah.
Card though, I think is too expensive.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, getting 5 charge counters kind of easy, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I would hope so. It's 8 mana.
I don't think it is easy after you've just board wiped.
hey, you only bull right for 4 damage. You got a 5/5. You're good.
You got a 5/5 that turns this into a 10/10.
Yeah, there's no way that my Karn structs are going to be bigger than 4. This card's bad.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. We've got a new creature. It's Sami, Wildcat Captain. It's 4 red and a white for a 4 legendary creature. It's got double strike and vigilance, and spells you cast have affinity. It's pretty powerful.
Everything that the light touches will be yours one day.
All right, I know I was saying that the last one wasn't that bad at 8 mana, but I'm really going to start complaining about this one being at 6 mana. So please don't make fun of me and laugh.
I mean, this is
Gonna
2
have to make
mana.
fun of you and laugh.
Spells having an affinity for artifacts is pretty powerful, especially in
it
these color
doesn't have
combinations of
affinity.
where you can. It does not.
Sorry.
Spells you
Yeah.
cast, it does. But this is, I know 6 mana is a lot though. I'm trying.
6 mana for your spells have probably just become free, and this also has double strike and vigilance.
That's true.
I guess you're right. I think we can just go ahead and move on though. Sami, okay card at most, right?
Meh.
I like him.
You do. Okay.
I
We'll talk
do.
more.
I do actually like it.
We'll talk more in Commander Grades. How about that?
Next
Let's
year.
go and move. Let's move on to a new planet. It's a land. This is Susur Secundi, Void Altar. It's a land, it's a planet. It says this land enters tapped. Taps for a black. And it's also got station. Once it has 12 plus charge counters on it, you can pay 1 and a black, tap it, and pay 2 life, and sacrifice a. Draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. How many different safety valves can you put on one card?
Mana, tap, life, creature. Draw card.
And you have to invest
Sorcery.
more things into this.
It is crazy, right?
I
Card's
wanted
really
this to
bad.
be. I wanted this to be good, but I don't see it.
I don't see
No.
it either. It's really it's makes me really sad.
I like the formatting
these-
though, for some reason.
Thought the lands were supposed to be good. Yeah, the formatting's cool. With the name underneath.
Yeah. Reminds me of like a movie. When you go to a new planet on a movie and it says like, you're at Secure Security.
Yep.
That's the name.
Yeah, every time I go to the movies.
This is you're at Security. All right. Let's move on to a card that I believe Steve, because it is Demir. This is actually the Buy a Box promo art. So you can get this if you buy a box at your LGS. This is Singularity Rupture. It is 3, a blue, and 2 black. Sorcery, destroy all creatures. Then, any number of target players each mill half library down. Why? This is so crazy.
This card shouldn't exist.
I sent this to my friends that I play here in North Carolina with, and I was just like, I'm going to let you know, I've been thinking about building a mill deck for a while, and this set is literally saying, do it.
Do it. Yeah, this is a mean card. This fills up a graveyard quick.
This is stupid.
I don't know if this card is good.
It's pretty
I mean,
stupid, dude.
it's 6 mana for a destroy all creatures, and then you're just getting your library milled out. I think on top of the cards that we've seen that could just finish the job and mill you out for the rest. Game over.
I mean, okay. Maybe I have an interesting relationship or like a skewed view of Mill. I don't think that Mill is scary. It's almost always like the deck that I just kind of like ignore in a pod because it's not actively
Agreed.
progressing the game the same way that the other decks are typically progressing. Normally, Mill decks, it wants to win by milling everybody out, which is nobody else's game plan. So it's kind of like a singular threat in that sense. I also look at it like, yeah, sure, you can mill my library, but I've probably got some degree of recursion in there, even if
You
I'm
do.
not a recursion deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Riley, I do like the point you made. Usually mill players have they're on their own island, which is completely understandable because we are very insane people to do this archetype. Nobody wants to be our friends. But what I will say is, like, most of the time we're left alone. People are building up their board states, like you said. We're not really progressing our board state too much. But this destroys your entire board states, which is fantastic. And I do love that fact. And playing this in like a mill deck, you're in Dimir, you have some recursion aspects. I love the fact that everyone around me is going to have half their library in their graveyard, and I can just pick and choose what I may want. And even if I don't, I understand this is 6 mana, it's a pretty heavy investment. I'm going to continue my mill, and it's just I'm halfway there at that point.
Mhm. It's
Over
sad.
here, I mean, it's just like, I know it's an archetype versus archetype thing. It's a style that you like. It is a style that I personally do not.
I think that the main reason why you probably don't care about it is because you normally always play like recursion in almost all of your decks, but not everyone does. Not everyone's as smart. Play
Yeah,
recursion in your decks.
I also, one of my very first decks that I ever put together for Commander was a mill deck, and I thought it was cute. I
And
thought
you
it was gonna be
realized,
just
ooh.
like you. And then I realized every time I sat down, it was 3-1, and it sucked.
Yeah, it's like the challenge. Like, can I make them draw their entire not draw their entire deck, but mill their entire deck before they can kill me? It's a fun little like game.
Hey, Riley, that was over 10 years ago. Mill's gotten better.
Way better.
Yeah, but my trauma hasn't.
Let's move on to the next card. It's another planet. Continuing on this planet cycle. It's Uthros, Titanic Godcore. It's a land planet. It always enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it for a blue. You station it up. And once it has 12 plus charge counters, you could pay a blue, tap it, and add a blue for each art. Better than
Better.
the black one. But
It's not 17 hoops.
Just sucks.
I don't like it. I still don't like the fact that these mythic planet cycles entering tapped.
Yeah, I hate
Who
that.
cares? Why?
I hate
like,
that.
are they that afraid of like stationing these immediately? I don't get that.
I
You
mean,
don't-
maybe, but
Yeah. Because it's very possible. Like in the late game, in the commander game, this with any kind of artifact strategy, like you are going to be doing it. So, like Simulacrum Synthesizer is a banger of a card, and it just makes you artifacts that continue to grow in size. Constructs are ridiculous, and you could easily, probably, I'm not even gonna lie, station this the first time it comes down.
But it can't do that. So, yeah.
It can. This ender's
can-
tapped, but
yeah,
you
you
can
can
still
station.
you can still station it.
I suppose so.
I
I think so.
suppose so.
It's
I
just such
do
a weird card.
I do agree, however, with the points being made is that it does seem like there's too many safety valves on these.
For this being like the
need it.
like the flagship, not flagship, but I feel like the land cycle is always pretty important in the set, and this is just it sucks for how cool this could have been.
Especially at Mythic, right? This
Yeah.
is the Mythic land cycle.
Listen, Wizards realized they messed up. Nadu
Well,
came out. No valves on that card.
Get over
They
that,
got-
dude.
They're going too far in the other direction. They're gonna bring it back. Give them time.
Need all valves now.
All right, moving on to Infinite Guidelight Station. This is a white, a blue, a black, a red, and a green for a 715. Legendary artifact spacecraft. It says whenever it enters, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. It's a station. It also has flying, and once it has those 12 charge counters on it, whenever it attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. I love 5 color. I don't know if I love this.
It's okay.
Yeah. Seems like not a
So-
big payoff.
It's a lot of hoops.
This reminds me of the Niv Mizzet that we got, the 5-color Niv Mizzet.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
just-
the guild pack one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great, but the art's cool.
I
Yep.
mean, card draw is solid, and it builds you a board if you already have a board.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably building around it. You got the board.
Blink it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, blink it. Make a
Bop
bunch
it.
of tutus. Slap it.
It's infinite.
It's infinite. Wait, what's infinite? Oh, the name.
It also makes me giggle thinking about these flying spacecrafts like going through space tapped.
Tapped.
Yeah, like their entire like vessel is like turned. I guess technically, like most of the time when you see space shows, like they figured it out.
Yeah, but when you're
I
in
want to know
space,
why. I want to know
Popcorn.
why they come in tapped.
because they're too good if they're untapped.
It's only one down
Also,
effect.
if you
This
think
doesn't
about it,
come in
is-
tapped.
No, this doesn't, but the things it
Yeah.
makes does.
it's so that you don't like immediately just like have this powerhouse of a board. Also, if you think about it, if it's out in space, like there's no up and down.
Yeah,
There's-
exactly.
There's no right way
That's what I was
up.
trying to say. There's no. It's all relative.
Yeah.
It's like there's no.
It's
direct-
all an
tapped-
infinite elevator.
Yeah, tapped is the
Shut
new
the f-
untapped.
I hate you, Steven.
Yeah, as you can see, we're super excited about this card. Maybe we move on.
Up next, we have Thrumming Hivepool. This is 6 mana for an artifact. It has affinity for slivers. It also says that slivers you control have double strike and haste. And at the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless sliver creature tokens. I'm going to give
Banger.
this card a 0 out of 10. Doesn't
I'm in
help my
love.
dragon deck whatsoever.
I'm in love. I'm in absolute love. This
All right,
goes
Shane, I want to
straight.
hear you talk about this for 2 minutes before
All right,
any of us talk.
2 minutes. This is nuts. Yes.
That was a quick 2 minutes.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
what do you need to talk about, dude? You're gonna have a board of slivers. This is gonna be 0. You're gonna drop it. I'm gonna win the game. And then if I don't win the game, I make more slivers. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, the card's nuts. I don't know why slivers needed more help.
They didn't.
I do have a problem with this card.
Tell me. I'll tell you you're wrong. Tell me.
Like, here's my super small little gripe with this.
Okay.
Is that the OG slivers didn't have the wording of them on like you control, so it would just like pump every sliver. And I really wish that this did that too. I know that they started moving away from that. I don't know if it's easier to track or whatnot, but I just thought it was something that was really cool about that specific creature type, about how like it could have impact things cross board. And I wish that it still did.
No.
You imagine if it said like at the beginning of your upkeep, everybody makes slivers.
No. That would suck.
No, not even that. Just slivers have double strike and haste.
I mean, that probably exists somewhere.
It does.
Like, yeah. Like
Yeah,
you
but it
said.
doesn't exist on this card.
Well, then that'd be the same card.
Sliver card is good.
Sliver card's great, and I'm putting it in my
And this
first
card's
sliver
usually
deck.
always costing 0.
This card is costing 0.
Good card, good. Let's go ahead and move on to the Hearthhole, the World Seed. This is 1, a black, a red, and a green for a 6/7 legendary artifact spacecraft. It's got station, so we're putting charge counters on stuff again. If it's got 2 of those charge counters, you can pay 1, tap it, sack a land. Draw 2 cards. You may play an additional land this turn, and then it has 8 of those charge counters. It's got flying, vigilance, and haste. And then whenever you sacrifice a land, each opponent loses 2 life. Oh, this is going into somebody's kitty deck, huh?
I mean, this is a face
Little
commander.
Lord
right now.
Windgrace.
This is
So-
the face commander of the John
Yeah,
deck.
yeah.
And
Crazy.
actually, I love how you bring up that comparison because I feel like these two cards are incredibly similar. Not just in terms of like being the same color combination and caring about lands, but also that they have the potential to helm a deck and not contribute to the board state for a while. I don't know.
It's gonna sit on the side.
Yeah, I look at cards like this and I get a little worried personally. Like the 2014 Commander precons, I was very excited for. That was a cycle where all 5 of them were helmed by a Planeswalker, and it's the first time you could have like Planeswalkers as a commander. I was very excited for that. And I think that was probably the most disappointing set of precons that I have played, just because of the way that gameplay kind of came out. Everything was really slow and dirtily, and nobody really felt super impactful. There was no commander damage. Given that, yes, this does have the potential to turn into a creature, and a sizable one at that. I don't know. Do I think this is going to be as bad as that? No, I don't. Just part of my brain draws those connections, and it scares me.
I Can't wait to play with Spacecraft as my commander. I'm gonna be so excited.
I have a question.
What?
Does it need haste? Because are you really crewing this all the way up immediately? Probably not.
Well, put it to you like this: if it's on there, there's probably something in the deck that does it.
I mean, I also mentioned a 9/9 earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If this had haste, that'd be
Seems interesting.
crazy, dude. Oh, it does have haste.
It does. It does have
Yeah.
haste.
Oh,
Oh,
it does have haste. Steven read that. I
I
wasn't listening.
I just
That's
yeah.
kind of the redeeming thing here. Its body is pretty impressive
Yeah,
once
I'm here for
you've
it.
stationed it.
You can do that.
Station
no
it up.
problem. Station
Easy
it
mode.
up.
I also love the fact that this thing has a tap ability and has vigilance, so it's just bonus there.
I'm actually stoked.
Bonus.
I can't wait for these commander decks.
And moving on to the final card that we're going to talk about today, this is going to be the station that is going to helm the other precon deck. This is In Spirit Flagship Vessel. It is blue, red, white for a legendary artifact, Spacecraft. It's a 5/5 with station, once again. For the first charge counter, if you put one or more on there, it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1 counter or 2 charge counters on up to one other target artifact. And if you have stationed or put 8 or more charge counters on this, it's got flying and says other artifacts you control have hexproof and indestructible. What do we think about this one?
Is this
Banger.
the proliferation one?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Are there only
the
2
backup
decks?
Commander.
Yep.
Yes.
Holy moly!
Q and Riley this time.
I mean, this
Mhm.
card's cool. I think it's gonna be super
I
easy.
like the synergies of the other alternate commander. You can use that to crew this, and then
Yeah.
it gets the charge
Yeah.
counters, and then you proliferate the
And then you
charge
flip it.
counters.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. You were right. I remember you guys talked about that. You said that the proliferation is gonna be because of the spacecraft. There it is.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is gonna be sick, dude.
What do you think about that first ability on that? The ability to put the either +1/+1 or the 2 charge counters on another artifact.
I'm sure the deck's gonna
I
be
mean, you
full
can't put it on
artifacts.
itself.
That'd be
That'd
stupid.
be too.
I'm sure there's a bunch of spacecraft in this deck. I'm sure it's gonna be like Super Friends Spacecraft Edition.
Maybe
I
yeah,
can
you
see
might be
that.
right. Powerful effect though, because you know what, Shane? I think you're completely right. I think this is going to be a super spacecraft deck because I mean, what is the other ability here? Other artifacts you control have hexproof.
Yeah. This is like the mama ship protecting all the ships.
The mama ship.
Yeah, that's scientific.
Which is
term.
why I think it's silly you can't put the +1/+1 counter on it.
Well,
You do it to the
mama
children.
protects the babies.
No,
I'm
the
losing
mama
my
needs to
metaphor
pick
here.
up that gat.
And that's going to do it for our Edge of Eternity spoilers. This is just day 1, so make sure that you stick with us throughout the rest of Eternity, as we're always showing off new cards because we don't get a break from this anymore.
On the edge.
Yeah, I mean, also make sure you are following us. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video to show some support. Leave us a comment down below. Did you like our reactions to these cards? Which of us were wrong? Was it Riley when they said that they didn't like the mill card? Or was it me when I said something about a card Riley liked? And I'm sure there was one in there. I'm almost positive.
If you haven't done so already, you can check out all of our socials down in the links below. We've got those pinned for you. And as a special shout out before we wrap this up, we want to give some love to all of our patrons.
And on screen right now, those are all of our Patreon members. You want to see what they're seeing, which is exclusive content, early content, cool stuff. Link will be in the description, and consider subscribing. And like they said, we're going to do a special shout out to our Gained Indestructible tier, starting with
Aaron Hill,
Aaron Martin.
Brian Ganella,
Daryl Tripp.
Demarion Turner,
Dr. Rome.
Jimmy Ward,
Kevo.
Larry Kelligan,
Samuel Abbott.
Thrifty, PSGR.
And William Colombo. You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
love you.
Oh, it's my turn.
Bye-bye.